Everybody, happy July 3rd. This is the Combat Business Live Show. I'm Amy Majors, and this is my new Facebook. So if we're not connected on Facebook yet, please go ahead and shoot me a friend request on this one because it's new. And that way you'll get to see every time that Paul Halmy, Amanda Hanpa, Johnny Bucker, I go live, you'll get notified. And you can always make sure that you go in and actually click to see more notifications from this group if you want to see more of us when we're here and when we're answering your questions, so that you don't miss out on the opportunity for us to answer your questions completely for free. As you know, as you might know, because if you have a members only group, you might know that Facebook groups are not showing their notifications or not showing their posts or anything to as many people as they used to. So make sure that you are friending us and you are following us and clicking yes on notifications. I want to see them for this group so that you don't miss out on any of the free info that we have to give. Speaking of information that we have to give, we have a live, we're calling it office hours, coming up in the next 2 weeks. I want to make sure to get the date right. It is I believe it's the 23rd. Actually, it's in the cover photo of the group. You'll see a glorious picture of if Johnny Buck, the Incredible Hulk, and the Statue of Liberty had a baby. That's the cover photo that you'll see right now, and it tells you more about the date. There's more photos to come, by the way, of all of us who have been mashed into some sort of Americana patriotic situation. But that is going to be our office hours, and if you're interested in having access to that, it is for our tribe clients, but we are giving you guys access to this, and it's a pretty amazing offer if you want to just have office hours with us, which means that you could talk to us up to 2 hours for a freakishly low price. So ask for more information about that, and we'll get that all confirmed for you. More info to follow. All right, here we go. So speaking of these posts, remember, we go live on this. I do our live show for you. You alternate between me and Paul every week. And if you shoot us a comment or ask us any questions, we're here to help you out. So I want to share with you some of the questions that I've been getting lately. A lot of the questions are things like, it's July, leads are really slow. Why are leads slow in July? And is this normal? Is this a very July kind of thing? And I will say that basically it's a holiday type thing. Anytime there is any kind of holiday, it is very normal for people to not opt in to go try something new when they know that they're going to have a weekend away. So if you didn't get a ton of leads earlier this week, it is very possible that it could be because of the 4th of July holiday and the fact that people know that they're not really looking to schedule something before the holiday. So if you experience that, it's not uncommon. And it's not something that we necessarily would lose a ton of sleep over, even though it's not what we want. One of my staff members last night called and said, I'm having a real hard time hitting our goals for setting appointments and closing sales because I just don't have that many new people to talk to. So whenever there's not a ton of new people to talk to, there's a lot of different things that we can do to try to generate new leads, generate new appointments, and generate new sales. And the number one thing that we have to do whenever the new leads are not just flowing in the way that we would love is to actually go back and follow up with people who have already done those things. Now, remember, people opt in for, to take a free class, or they opt in for the things that you're offering at whatever time they happen to see the ad that you're running, or whatever time they happen to think about it. Most of the people who are opting in are doing so on their phone. And as you know, if you've randomly Google searched anything, you will pop that up and just, could be whatever time of the day you're interested, you're looking, and if a pop-up comes up where you put your information in, it doesn't mean that you're ready to act on it that exact moment. It just means that's when you were there, that's when you were thinking about it, that's when it happened. What gets tricky here is that we want to call and invite that person in to come in and try a class, but they may not have opted in at a time when they're ready for it. So just because you call that person the next day, or you call that person even the same day, it does not mean that they're ready to jump on the appointment. It also doesn't mean that because they're not ready to jump in on that appointment that they're no longer interested or were never interested in training jujitsu. And I think that's a really big thing to understand. People are not necessarily bad leads just because they don't want to jump in and take a class on your time frame. We as business owners have a time frame. We know that we want to reply very quickly to an inquiry, and we know that we want that person to come into an appointment within 1 to 2 days, and we know we want them to sign up on their first day. But what if they're not ready for that? What if they were just sort of half curious about it? There may be a few more steps along the path where we need to educate them a little bit, give them some value in a form, in email, or start building a relationship over the phone, or even during over a DM, or whatever method of contact you have with this person. Even email, although it's trickier to do, it's harder to do over email. It could be any of these things that lead to people eventually saying, yes, I will take that step forward with you, and I would like to come in and try a class. But sometimes, like I said, people just aren't quite ready yet. So we need to be prepared that even if it's not done exactly on our time frame, it doesn't make the person a bad lead. It just means we need to guide them a little bit further in the process. So do not be afraid to put some time in to building rapport and to adding value with your prospects, because it's going to pay off later on. And later on is a day like July 3rd. July 3rd does not mean we don't have to work because tomorrow is July 4th. I would suggest that you work today because you're going to take off tomorrow. And what you can be doing today is trying to reach out to people to set up appointments for next week. If you don't have a ton of new leads today, which would not surprise me given that there is a holiday. I'm also from Michigan, by the way, for any of you who don't know that. So although I think that many people in Texas would argue that there are more patriotic states than Michigan, which is debatable, we have we summer very intensely in Michigan in a way that I think is unusually intense. I'll say that word twice. We love summer. We just do a really good job with summer because our weather is so weird throughout a lot of the year. When it's like boating season, it's lake season, it's anything season, we sort of like lose our collective minds in Michigan. So 4th of July is sort of it's the ultimate outdoor summer holiday. So people in Michigan are just like checked out, unavailable. There are people who have taken off for 4th of July starting like yesterday, and they're just done for the week. Our fireworks around here started last week. It's just crazy around here. So again, if people are just like feeling this holiday right now, they might not be opting in for things in the same way. But that doesn't mean that somebody who opted in 3 weeks ago is not finally ready to book for next week. And you can say that in your conversation. Be like, hey, listen, I know I saw that you were interested in trying out jujitsu, or you were interested in having your kid try out one of our classes. I know that tomorrow is the holiday, so I wanted to see if you were available on Tuesday of next week. I'm saying Tuesday because Monday, who knows? I don't know what they do. Maybe they're recovering still after the weekend. But say I've got an opening on Monday and Tuesday, Monday at 6 o'clock and Tuesday at 7:30. Which one of those would be best for you to finally come in and try this out? And they might just pick it for you. But again, it's not going to be new leads that are going to save the day today on July 3rd. It's going to be the old leads that we need to go back to. You've heard I'm certain you have heard the phrase, it's a bit cliched, but it still holds true, that the fortune is in the follow-up. And what that means is there are a lot of potential members, not prospects. There are a lot of potential members who just are in your list and have not been contacted yet. You might have reached out to them once, but you have not actually made contact with them. There are members in there. So your job on a day like today, on a week like this week, or any week when your leads are not just flowing through the way that you would love them to, is to go back through the people who gave you their name, email, and phone number, a true lead, and did not set an appointment, or people who set an appointment and didn't make it to their appointment and need to be rescheduled, or even people who said no, I don't want to be a member at a particular time, but times may have changed. Maybe it's been a couple months. You can go back through each one of those little groups and reach out to them and try to set an appointment again and get those people to come back in on maybe a new offer for the people who said no, or just a new and a different time, different time of year, something like that. That's what I would recommend that you work on today on July 3rd, on the Wednesday before 4th of July.